Someone wrote, oh, you want to finish picking your teeth?
No, I'm good. Oh, we started.
Someone wrote in and said, I realize I'm trying really hard to be a good fit for someone else because I don't feel good enough about myself. When that doesn't work, I feel devastated. I don't feel desirable in the way society expects me to be. I'm not a guy's guy. It's difficult to feel accepted as a man who's emotionally vulnerable, affectionate, and socially reserved, especially when it's passed by for other partners or ignored. Is there anything I can do? This is Reid Mahalko from readaboutsex.com.
Cathy Vartuli from the intimacydojo.com.
Yeah.
Great, deep, and serious question.
Yeah.
From
So
a
much.
deep, sensitive soul.
Yeah, thanks for writing in.
You want to go first?
Sure. I think the thing that stood out for me is that you don't feel good enough about yourself. And I know I struggled with that a lot. I have a lot of insecurities that can come up, especially when life isn't going really smoothly or I'm not getting my needs met. And I think that when I don't feel good enough about myself, I will notice that a lot of the things that sometimes go really smoothly for me don't go so smoothly. There's a inner resistance to things. Like, it's almost like my brain is trying to prove that I'm not good enough because I'm holding on to that belief. And when I can work through and say, wow, that belief's come up again, and I see that belief, and either work through the incidents, the experiences I had that anchored that for me, or notice ways that it's not true and kind of counter it, life starts going a lot easier for me, and it's easier for me to connect with people. If I approach someone with the feeling I'm not good enough, there's an energy, like a barrier between us. And one of the things I do is I bring that up when I feel like I'm too close to people. It's a kind of reverse switch. If I feel like someone's getting too close, I'll bring the I'm not good enough up as a shield to keep them away. Like, you shouldn't get too close, I'm going to protect you from me. Mm-hmm. So it's just something to look at. Like, sometimes humans will reverse something and say, on a surface level, I'm not good enough means that you wouldn't come close. Like, I don't deserve you.
You're using it as a protection mechanism.
But I sometimes use it as a protection mechanism. So I would invite you to notice if you feel safe being close to people. Because if you're working on the thing that you're using as a shield, but you've kind of inverted, it's hard to make progress.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you'll take you'll make a baby step forward, and then every time you try to step forward, you'll only be able to take a smaller baby step.
Yeah.
Because to go too far means you actually transformed it.
Yes, and then your shield isn't there anymore.
Then you don't have
need
it
the
anymore.
Shield. Yeah. So I think that working on the feelings about yourself and clearing as much of that while practicing getting out there, if you don't feel desirable, it's harder for people to connect with you. And at least in my experience, you're not going to get as many yeses.
Yeah, this is a good question because it goes in so many. It's like one rabbit hole.
Yeah.
It's like a gopher burrow. It's like a meerkat burrow. There's like 80 different tunnels all at once. For me, the challenge here is so culture's giving us bad information, right? It's all this bad role modeling. What it means to be a man, what it means to be a woman, all this gendered stuff. And now that, people are deconstructing gender, there's even questions about, am I trans enough? Am I queer enough? Am I, gender non-conforming enough? Like, basically, we take the cultural bullshit with us into these areas of growth, and they fuck with us again in more sneaky ways.
Yeah.
So I'm always talking about relationships from the point of view of like what's a good fit, and I'm talking about life from the point of like self-expression, understanding that you can't reboot and install in a completely different operating system, culturally speaking, as a human being. And even if you could, you'd only be picking a different culture's operating system, and that cultural system's going to have bullshit. Living a self-expressed life, being the person that makes you happy, whether that is I'm heteronormative and I want to be a man's man and I want to date a feminine woman who loves being taken and all the fairy tale princess bullshit that for some person is their self-expression. So it's not bullshit for them, but for somebody else, it's bullshit. When you look at from self-expression. Are you being the person that makes you happy?
Mm-hmm.
Then, from a fit perspective, are you dating people who want to date people like you? Or are you feeling upset that so-and-so, who wants the manly truck-driving man, who's stoic and a little bit rebellious, and they passed you, the sensitive, heart-opened, new age man, for the truck driver? Like, I get why you might be disappointed and sad.
But they weren't a good fit to begin with.
But you be you and try to, now we can switch and let's go find where the people that you want to date and thrive with actually are.
Yeah.
I think that's more a better use of your time and energies. Now, the landmine of disappointment's still there.
Yeah.
And yes, you're avoiding it over here on this lawn, but culture has put that landmine in a lot of other places.
Yeah.
So how can you start deconstructing that? And what makes you happy? But inside of this, which I don't know if it's bad relationship or bad cultural advice, there are certain things that people of all cultures tend to find attractive, mm-hmm. or useful or desirable, or maybe the opposite of desirable in a certain way is they find certain traits to be less repulsive or creepy. So, confidence.
Even if it's a quiet confidence.
Yeah. Because again, like culturally speaking, confidence means extroverted versus I'm present.
I can handle what's happening.
I can handle what's going on. Being confident, being present.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that's heart open or not, I think those two things are helpful. Culture, bullshit, youth. Well, guess what? Enjoy it while you got it, because it's leaving.
Yep.
I'm getting older. When I talk, I see my little throat things that I didn't see when I was 20. Like I'm like, oh God, it's happening. But it's going to happen anyway. Mm-hmm. So can you be a good communicator? And can you be great at assessing whether people are a good fit for you? These are skills that I think are going to be useful. You can't get rid of culture, but you definitely you can learn how to figure out where the landmines are and not step on them.
Yeah.
I hope that's useful.
Yeah, and I really appreciate the thought that went into your question. I think that if you can just turn around a few things that are standing in your way, you'll start seeing a big difference in how people respond to you. Because people do, when someone's feeling they're not good enough, we're not sure why or what's going on. And very few people are going to see enough of us to want to fight through the morass that's in the way to find out who we really are. And it's a lonely place to be. So if you can work through the things that make you feel not worthy, because all humans are worthy of love and connection. If you can work through some of that and let people see who you really are, I bet you'll find some amazing people to hang out with.
And you're still going to get disappointed from time to time.
It's human. It's what happens.
Yep.
So I hope this helped.
Leave a comment, everyone.
Thanks for watching. If you'd like to subscribe to my social media, it's right there. And please subscribe to this channel there. If you'd like to see more goofy Reid and Cathy, there's more videos there.
See them. Why are they there?